What do you think about tunnel construction? Basically, tunnel construction is a civil engineering structure work. The construction of tunneling may create an underground passage that passes through obstacles. It may be built through a hill, under buildings or roads, underwater, and also under entire cities. There are many causes to build a tunnel, whether to traverse an obstacle, to provide connection beneath the sea, and to provide sewage system. How to build the tunnel system? There are various kinds of methods that are used to build the tunnel. However, I will just list down the main or basic types of tunnel construction methods that are commonly used. So the first one is the cut and cover tunnel method. Basically, it is constructed in a shallow trench and it will be covered over after digging the trench. Next is the bored tunnel method. The construction was constructed in situ without removing the ground above. Usually, this kind of method is suitable for the circular shape of tunnels. The last one is the immersed tube tunnel method, suitable for underground tunnel construction. The precast concrete will be sunk into water and laid on or buried just under its bed. There are many types of tunnels that have been constructed in this entire world. The type of tunnels may be differentiated by its own characteristic, whether from its shape, construction materials, and also the purpose to build and function of the tunnels. Here, I have attached the three basic types of tunnels. The first one is traffic tunnels. From the word traffic, we can identify that it is for the transportation and human access way. Traffic tunnels consist of the railway tunnels, the highway tunnels, and the pedestrian tunnels. Next is hydropower tunnels. As an example, this type of tunnel has been used in Bakun Dam in Sarawak. Tunnels were excavated for hydropower generation. It is driven through rocks carrying the water under gravity. The third is public utility tunnels. Tunnels were built mainly for disposal of urban waste. Besides that, it is also used for carrying pipes, cables, and supplies of oil and water. Here, we have attached some few examples of tunnels construction case study. The first case study is the Channel Tunnels located in the United Kingdom. This tunnel was built for a railway which is 37.9 km long. There are some fun facts about this tunnel, such as it is claimed to be the longest underwater tunnels in the world and the third longest railway tunnels in the world. Next case study is the Hong Kong-Zhuhai-Macau link, located in China. This is the longest sea-based project in the world. This underwater tunnel is 6.7 km long, which connect two bridges via two artificial islands. It is claimed to be the longest deep-water immersed tunnel for road traffic. Last is mud tunnels located in our country. It is the longest stormwater tunnels in Southeast Asia, which is 9.7 km long. This tunnel includes 4 km long double-decker roadway. The flow chart shows the planning before the project was carried out. For your information, this is only general planning to get an idea on what method of construction that would be used later on. Firstly, the route selection should be identified. Then, discovered where the route will be passed through, whether in water or land. If it is in water, then the immersed tunnel will be used, and if in land, cut and cover method will be used. For the bored tunnel method, both construction in water and land can be used. However, there are 4 types of other methods under bored tunnel, such as rock tunneling, soft ground tunneling, difficult ground tunneling, and SEM tunneling. The construction process for tunnel construction. For your information, this process is mainly for a bored tunneling method. The process just generally shows the working order during the bored tunneling process. As usual, starting the project first. After that, select the location of the construction site. Next, prepare the site layout. And then, excavate working shaft and excavate tear, tunnel, and undercut. After that, assemble TBM, which is tunnel boring machine, and then start the tunneling works. After all the routes being bored, then remove TBM and lastly clean up the tunnel. The flow chart shows the construction materials that is commonly used in tunnel construction. For excavation in rock ground condition, explosive will be used. For tunnel support, steel section will be built to avoid collapse. In rock reinforcement, rock boards or anchors are used to support the ground. For shotcrete and concrete lining, it is commonly used for cement and aggregates. And for waterproofing, a common geomembrane will be chosen as its element.
So I will be presenting on the benefit of tunnel construction. Number 1 is ground activities such as transportation are not disturbed, as the ongoing tunnel work is being done underground. So the ground activities will not be disturbed. Number 2, avoid traffic congestion and cut down travel time. The tunnel construction will provide a shorter travel distance, hence cut down travel time. Number 3, provide rapid transportation in crowded cities. For example, MRT and LRT in Malaysia. Point number 4, connecting 2 points in the shortest route. The tunnel will serve as another route for motorists from one part of the city to another part. This will reduce the travel distance in the tunnel. For example, the tunnel route will take only 4 minutes compared to the existing route that use longer period of time. Point number 5, divert water for power generation. Like what Andrea has explained, is the hydropower generation. For example, in Malaysia, we have Bakun Dam and Baleh Dam in Sarawak. Point number 6, mitigating flood. For example, smart tunnel have 2 functions. The first one is the motorway, and number 2 is to reduce the problem of flash flood in Kuala Lumpur. Challenges in tunnel construction. Number 1 is geological formation. Various geological formation requires different types of approach method. For example, hard soil, soft soil, and hard rock or clay will requires different type of method to tunneling. And number 2 is unstable ground. Damage to existing structures due to sinkholes, road settlement, and damage to infrastructure and facilities. This is because the tunneling work that is happening underground can cause the ground to lose its integrity and fail. Number 3 is underground structure. For example, electric cable and manholes can cause deviation from the initial plan due to the work that need to be done to remove the structure or to come up with another plan. Number 4, the collision between the TBM and underground structures. For example, building foundation can cause the TBM to break down and cause delay to the project. Number 5, lack of escape routes for tunnel workers in case of emergency, and also a presence of gas and lack of oxygen during working underground in the confined space. And last, lack of investigation and adequate temporary support structure can cause the tunnel to fail, and the tunnel will collapse during the work is ongoing. Next, I will explain about the maintenance in a tunnel construction. An effective maintenance program helps to reduce costs, decrease the number of tunnel closure, and increase public safety and ensuring adequate level of service. Usually there are two types of maintenance in tunnel. Number 1 is planned maintenance, and number 2 is corrective maintenance. Example of planned maintenance in number 1 is removing debris from the tunnel. Debris present a number of safety concerns, and debris should be removed from the tunnel on a regular basis since it could obstruct vision, damage vehicles, or present a fire or safety hazard. Another example of planned maintenance is tunnel cleaning. The tunnel should be washed when the interior becomes dull with dirt. Washing is also recommended to make the inspection work easier. And the washing process consists of spraying the tunnel with water and detergents, scrubbing the surface with rotating brushes, and rinsing off the soap and grime using water jets. Next point is servicing vehicles and equipment. Vehicles and equipment should be served to ensure readiness and performance. When servicing vehicles, the engine and motors should be checked for things such as appropriate fluid levels, unusual sounds, excessive temperatures, and any vibrations. The example of vehicles and equipment are the emergency response vehicle or first responder vehicle. Next point is drainage inlets and pipe. The drain inlet should be cleaned of debris and flushed with water to prevent clogging. And usually this activity should be scheduled with tunnel washing activities. Next point is lighting, cleaning and replacement. Lighting and visibility play an important role in accident prevention, and light should be easy to service to limit the lane closure and maintenance time. The lighting should be sealed from harmful environmental effects and keep out of moisture, bugs and dust. And the last example of planned maintenance is pavement marking and sign. Pavement marking and signs should be cleaned when they become dull, just like the lighting. When we travel through the tunnel, we should be able to see the sign and marking clearly. And the second type of maintenance is the corrective maintenance. The first example of corrective maintenance is damage to tunnel. Tunnels can be damaged by vehicles collision, fires, explosion, flood, earthquake and many more. After one of these incidents, damage inspection should be conducted and needs to be rectified immediately. Point number 2 is concrete detachment. Concrete can lose and detach because of faulty placement technique, corrosion of rebar, damage from excessive heat, impact from vehicles and deterioration. And this process may occur without warning. When concrete debris is discovered in the roadway portion of the tunnel, it should be cleaned up immediately. Next point is sudden equipment failure. Equipment failure can be difficult to predict, particularly when electronic components are involved. Appropriate contingency plans should be ready for implementation to restore service as quickly as possible. The next point is pavement repair. Sealing crack and patching potholes are part of roadway maintenance. As for the standard, tunnel design is a complex and highly skilled field. There are 12 standards that shall be minimum adopted for tunnel design, as you can see on the slide. And these are the other 6 standards that should be followed.
Okay, next is tunnel utilities. So there are several of tunnel utilities installed in the tunnel. Firstly is water. Water is commonly used to the dust control. Next is electrical power. Electrical power is function to supply the electrical, such as for the lighting in the tunnel. So next is ventilation. For ventilation is to supply the fresh air enter the tunnel. Then communication and data. Next, discharge water. Discharge water is to access the water use in construction. Next is typical hazard during the tunnel construction. So actually there are many type of hazard can be happen during the tunnel construction, such as tight working space, uneven surface, flood, air quality such as smoke, vapors, material handlings, utility supply lines, lack of ventilation, and methane gas. So actually there are more hazard can be happen during the tunnel construction. So for the tunnel construction safety tools, for the worker must wearing the PPE. PPE is such as protective boot, dust mask, eyewear, protective helmet, earplug, and safety glove. Next, emergency light indicator. Emergency light indicator also can be categorized as the safety tools. This is function as the give a alarm to the worker during construction inside the tunnel. Another safety tools is the cap lamp. Next, sustainable consideration. Firstly, excavate water reuse. Water can be reused to be dust control or aquifer recharge. Next, using biodiesel. By using biodiesel, it can reduce emission from the machinery, trucks, and mud car. Next is by using the green power, such as using solar for the lighting supply in the tunnel. Lastly, restore habitat. For the restore habitat, it can reduce ecosystem impact in the area. Okay, to do the tunnel construction, there are several guidelines need to be followed. Firstly, CIDB standard, quality assessment for roadworks. This guideline can be used during the construction and after finish the construction. Next, guidelines on occupational safety and health in tunnel construction. These guidelines are produced by the DOSH and highlight the safety aspect. Third, guideline for the tunnel design standard. This guideline are produced from the Lembaga Lebuh Raya Malaysia. Okay, for the case study, we want to share about the smart tunnel. So basically, the smart tunnel is constructed in November 23 and complete in 27. The owner of the project is Lembaga Lebuh Raya Malaysia (LLM) and Jabatan Pengairan dan Saliran (JPS). This tunnel is constructed by the Gamuda Berhad and MMC Corporation. So it's begin at Jalan Tun Razak KL and end at the Sungai Besi Airport. Okay, next, the smart tunnel names came from the stormwater management and road tunnel. So this tunnel is 9.7 km length, and the main objective of this tunnel is to solve the problem of flash flood in Kuala Lumpur, besides to reduce traffic jams along the Jalan Sungai Besi and Lok Ye flyover at Pudu during the rush hour. So basically, there are two components of this tunnel. It can be stormwater tunnel and motorway tunnel. Okay, next, tunnel boring method or TBM are used on the smart tunnel construction. Actually, there are two TBM from Germany were used. Firstly, it's named Tuah on the north side and Gemilang in the south side. As we can see the photo, the construction of the double-deck motorway structure with the use of the filigree slab panels, 100 mm thick permanent precast sulfate form was used to provide adequate opening height and width for the vehicle access construction of double deck motorway structure. Okay, next, how smart tunnel function. Actually, there are three modes smart tunnel can be. First mode is normal condition, where is the low rainfall. The motorway section is still open to the motorists, as we can see the photo. Next, mode 2. Mode 2 is moderate storm. When the moderate storm, the smart system is active, and the flood water is diverted into the bypass tunnel in the lower channel of the motorway tunnel, and the upper channel in the tunnel will be still open to the motorists, as we can see the picture. For the mode 3, the tunnel will completely close to the motorists. Once the vehicle have vacate the tunnel, the automatic watertight gates are open to allow the flood water to pass through, as we can see the picture. Okay, on the left picture, we can see the smart tunnel location is between the Sungai Kelang and Sungai Keroyan. Beside, on the right picture is the how the smart tunnel function. As we can see the photo, there are mode 1, mode 2 and mode 3. Okay, for the conclusion, we can say that the tunnel are great importance to our life, and give many benefit to the road users, such as connecting to points in the shortest road and cut down the travel time. Besides, tunnel also can be function as the to prevent the flood, as we can see the smart tunnel. Besides, from the construction of the tunnel, it can prove the construction technology will become more modern with the use of new method to build the tunnel. So the tunnel construction will be more mechanized by using those big machine in the future.